Hello, my crafty friends. This is Wendy Easler of Expressing My Heart, helping you express yours through handmade cards and gifts. I am doing a redo of the video that I did yesterday. I had a class on October 6th doing these 3 card designs. But unfortunately, the quality of the video was not what I had hoped. So I decided to go ahead and do it over. So I'm pulling out some of the supplies I used yesterday so that I can re-record it. I had several people pay for the tutorial, not necessarily the tutorial, but pay for the card kits. And they got this package of cards, which is 2 of each design of the cards. So we're going to put those up front here. And I wanted to make sure that I did a quality video for them. So I'm going to go ahead and re-record it. So let's get started. The one I started with yesterday was this one. And that's these 2. And this inside of this package is everything that is needed to complete this particular card. So we're going to do card number 1. This sentiment that's on this card, that's for this card, oh, I already glued it together, is actually a printed sentiment from Rhonda Wade. I was a part of one of her groups, and she sent out this, I think it's Creating for Christ. Creating for Christ is a free Facebook group that they make all sorts of projects, and she has tutorials and things to share a little encouragement and prayer and cards and everything. So I enjoy being a part of that group. I think this was for I think it might have been for April. I'm not sure what month this was for, but I really love this. So I use this on the front of my card. So this card has a regular card base, which is 8.5 by 11, cut at, I do believe, 4 1/4, and then scored at 5 1/4. Nope. Yeah. To give you your standard card base. And then this is a layering mat, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And I did this in, I think it very well might be Rococo Rose, because I really am biased to Rococo Rose. But you can use any colored paper. And what we're going to do with, let's get to this part. This is DSP, or Designer Series paper. And it is 2 by 5 1/8. And then, of course, your printed circle. This one is out of a 2 3/8 circle punch. And this one is from one of our die sets. And I don't know the die set offhand. And then I have a piece of ribbon. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is emboss the cardstock. Now, the embossing folder I used on my previous card was Brick and Mortar. Brick and Mortar is an expired embossing folder. So I decided to switch over to one that is not expired, which is one that's available right now. It's called Painted Textures. So we're going to stick this through my die cutting machine. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is available in our catalog. What I have here is an electric die cutting machine. I usually use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine when I'm traveling to classes. Ooh. And you know what? I think while we're embossing, I might do the second card too, because we're going to go ahead and do the second card too. And as you can see, it gives you this wonderful painted texture. I absolutely love it. The Painted Textures embossing folder is one of my favorite embossing folders. So we're going to set it here inside of the folder. Try to get it as straight as possible. And then I sandwich it between two plates. This one and then this one. And then put it in my machine. Keep picking that up. And then do a quick pass through. I think I feel better about the video quality on this one because it's not blurring like it did on the other one. And one of my guppies actually suggested that I check with my internet bandwidth, that maybe that was causing some of the problem with the blurring and stuff. So we might check on that because it looks so much better this time around. We're going to set that off to the side. Okay, so now what I failed to do yesterday that I need to do today is set that off to the side. Glue this down. We can glue it this way. So, because I want this one to show, I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, which is the best adhesive ever, and put it here. And I'm just making sure that there's like an even amount of space around the three sides of it because it's off to the side. And then, in order to adhere the ribbon, what I normally do is put two things of glue on the back, then turn it over and see where I want it to sit. The one side, because there's glue on the back. Ooh, it's too far over. Make sure that you've got enough space. Glue on the back. This looks good. And then making sure that it is straight. And doing that. Now, if it's buckling a little, you just loosen it up. Because you don't want it to buckle. And then we're going to put adhesive here. And then once again, when you're laying down a layer like this, you want to make sure that you get as even as it can on three sides. The fourth side should take care of itself. And there you go. And I do it optionally if I want to glue this part down so that it stays down. But considering we're getting ready to put this down on top, I think we're good. What else we're bringing in is dimensionals. Dimensionals gives you a nice lift to that focal piece of the card. And I'm going to get 4 dimensionals off because I got 4 little fingers available. And then I'm going to put them down here. And what I'll probably do is upload this video to Facebook and to YouTube. And then from here, I used the brushed brass butterflies. Alrighty. I usually use one big butterfly, maybe right there, and a couple of little ones. I have to put a little one by the word little. Alrighty. So there you go. And I'm working on this process of crafting where I put it away, don't put it down. Because that way I can keep my space as neat as possible. Now from here, the card is done. And we've got card number 1 done. So we're going to do a second version of this card. Because for those of you who don't know and you're in the Toledo area, in downtown Maumee, there is a place called Sunshine Art Studio. It is a wonderful place where most of the proceeds go to those that are developmentally disabled. And I have a number of my cards in that shop on consignment. So if you're interested in this card or any of the other cards that I've done, go visit Sunshine Art Studio. And they have a selection of my cards there. And part of the proceeds from the sale of my cards goes back to Sunshine. It's my partnership with Sunshine. My mom actually works for Sunshine. Okay, so for this one, let's go ahead and do it a little differently. I'm going to put a little glue, little adhesive on the edge of this. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little bit of the adhesive that's over. With Stampin' Seal and Stampin' Seal Plus, you can just push it over. That way you don't have glue on the front of your card. When you do it this way, then you just stick it down straight where you want it. And then you can turn it over and add the adhesive on the back to seal this back there. And then we're going to glue it. Uh-oh. Sometimes that does that. No worries. It's paper. There you go. It doesn't do it very often, but sometimes it decides to give me trouble. Alright. So again, making sure it's even on all three sides. The fourth side takes care of itself. And then we're going to get out some Stampin' Dimensionals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And stick that in the center. And then our butterflies. We bring out our butterflies again. Because I had put them back where they belonged. I knew exactly where they were. And the big butterfly. The little butterfly with little. And the other one. 3 butterflies just as perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Then we're going to put that back. Yep, you're going to watch me adhere to my new policy. Put it away. Don't put it down. I think there's a TikTok about it too. So there is 2 completed cards. And it didn't take that much to have such a pretty card. So we're going to... I include the self-seal envelopes with each of my cards. That way you can go ahead and once you get completed with your card, you have a place to put it. Is that the... Yes, that's the right one. And I will add the envelope later on. But once again, you can find these at Sunshine Art Studio. So those 2 are done. And so, you know, if you place an order with me in August, you use the host code. And this is the host code here in purple. Of course, it's my color, purple. If your order is up to $149 before tax and shipping, use this code. And I'll send you a free gift, including one of the packs. Here's the pack for Michaela that I will be giving to her. For your orders of $150 or more, don't use this host code because you'll get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up, which will be product that represents a certain percentage of your order. So, just so you know. So the next card we're going to do is this one. Yay! Now, what I will say is the paper is retired that I used on this one. I don't think, you know what? Let's see what we can do. Let's take our pieces out. You know what? Let's not do that. I'm going to go ahead and just go with it. Okay, so I cut this paper, but I did not cut this paper. Let's take a look how we cut it. We need one of these to be in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to mat this. And that's where we got that nice gray border along the side. But in order for me to know where to cut it, I needed to set it down so that I know that this point and this point needs to sit in here like this. If I do it like that, these won't sit on there right. Because I want this to be my focal point, not this side. So with that being said, we said this, just to make sure. It's better to make sure before I cut than to cut and cut it wrong. So I'm lining it up in the wells of the cutter. And then cut. And we put the cutter away. Yep, put it away, don't put it down. So now we're gonna add adhesive here. And I see a little nib of the paper that didn't cut right. So in my mind, I need to just trim it off. It's really like a hairline piece, but it makes the card look a little bit better when those pieces are trimmed off. And once again, we are lining this up so that the 3 sides work out. And in this case, there's only 3 sides. So, and I mentioned before that although this paper, which is, I do believe, what's this paper called? Symbols of Fortune, DSP, Designer Series paper. This is expired, or retired, I should say, not expired. So it's no longer available through Stampin' Up, but I have, I have some extra copies, extra packs of it. So if you are interested in this paper, it's beautiful crane paper. By all means, reach out, let me know, and I'll see if I can get you some. Okay, so that's those 2. Then we've got these 2. These 2 is so that one goes on the inside of the card and one is on the outside of the card. So we're going to take this and we're going to do the outside of the card first, which we are using the Irresistible Blooms stamp set. This is actually the bundle, and it's an online exclusive. So if you go to my website, then you can search online exclusives and you'll see this bundle. You can either buy it as a bundle or buy the stamp set by itself. We're going to grab an acrylic block and then use this one. Now, when you receive stamp sets from Stampin' Up, they do not come like this. You have to put the label on each of the stamps, and then there's a piece that it fits into that you can decide if you want or not. Sometimes I throw it away, sometimes I keep it. It's a toss-up. We're going to use basic gray. And what I do is, for me, I put these pieces in here and here, because that's where it's going to end up living. And what we want to do is set this stamp in there. So I'm going to ink this stamp up. And then stamp it here. And there you go. Look at that. And just in keeping with our motto for today, put it away. Don't put it down. We're going to clean off that stamp. Well, we've got a second one to do. So I tell you what, we're going to do the second one now, because all I need is the placement of these gray pieces which I can use the one from the first card and go ahead and stamp it now. That way I can clean off the stamp and put that away. And gray. Wonderful thing about acrylic stamps is that I can just turn it right side up. And we're going to stamp it right there. And there you go. Card number 2. So we are going to clean it off. This is a Stampin' scrub. And it comes with the, well, you can order. I don't know if it came with the spray, but there is spray that you can get with it. The Stampin' Mist. I label mine so that it's the wet side and the dry side, because you spray this side and then that helps you keep your stamps clean. So you can wet it and then dry it and it's all done. For those of you that don't want to do it that way, we also have a chamois. This is a case that I put together. And there's one complete piece. The chamois comes as one complete piece, but I cut mine in half so it fit into this little case. You just add water to this before you get started crafting, and it becomes this wet piece that you can constantly use to clean off your stamps. So we're going to put this back in here and put this over here. Now, this one is the one that goes. I've got one over here that goes with the second card. And I've got this one. Now, let's see what happens. Because on the, sorry, I adjusted my lighting. On the video that I did the other day, I went ahead and stamped on the inside of this card. That way it's not a blank inside card. I don't know if I'm going to stamp on the inside of this one. There's that one. And then you do this. This. Now, you guys know that Christmas is coming up and various other gift giving, card giving holidays are coming up. Even back to school, if you wanted to give kids some encouragement. Making cards is like the simplest way to express your heart. Hence the reason why I named my company Express My Heart. These are our rhinestones. I got mine from Rhonda. I'm on her team. And we are going to pull out some gems. For my birthday, she sent me a set of these rhinestones, which I absolutely love. I think he's too far over. Okay. I don't want to risk ripping up the paper, so. But when you're a part of our team for Stampin' Up, those are some of the little perks. You get a number of perks being on the team, but one of them is getting something on your birthday. Because we're card makers. Of course, we're going to send you a birthday card. And for those of you who don't know as well, I have a birthday card list. It's my Postable account. If you sign up and it's free, you just add your information in, your birth date and address and everything. I'll send a birthday card. I am a little bit behind for August. It's August 7th. And probably while I'm off this week, I will get those birthday cards out of here. But we're going to leave this blank inside. There you go. There's card number 1. Of course, we'll add the envelope later. Card number 1. And then card number 2. Pull all of its pieces out. We're going to pull out the cutter. We're going to make sure this lines up correctly. I have a feeling I know how it lines up, but you don't want to have to cut another piece of this down because you cut it wrong. So the point to point inside the well, take that away. Uh-oh. And cut it. Now, for those of you who are part of any kind of organizations, church groups, anything like that, I'd love to start offering classes for card ministries. For when you want to give out various cards to people who are have a loss, have a birthday, have an anniversary, you know, any kind of reason for your card giving. If you are interested in starting a card ministry, by all means, either message me or comment below. And I will connect with you so that we can get that started. All right, so then we're going to put this one up here in the corner. I don't know. This card, although it is pretty, it's my least favorite out of the 3 cards. You guys tell me, which one is your favorite when I get finished with this 3rd card? Because I'm going to be biased here. That 3rd card is my favorite. Which card is your favorite? And which card do you see yourself actually, you know, completing? Then we put that here. The 3 sides, and then it goes down, and then we add the adhesive. All right. So there we go. And then we pull out the rhinestones. I know, I should have just left the rhinestones out because I was getting ready to use them again. I know that's what you're thinking. There we go. There you go. There goes that one. And we're going to open this up. That there. Flip it over and put the other side in here. I know there's a lot of people that like to write, have space to write a special note inside of their cards. So I have a lot of my cards that are blank inside. Some of them I actually add the sentiment into. You know what? Let's do this. And I'm going to grab a couple of envelopes out. And there you go. That one's ready to go. These little bags are like resealable, so it's nothing to undo it and then stick something else in there and add it back in there. And there you are. Those 2 cards are now ready to go. And our 3rd card. Yay! Our 3rd card. Our 3rd card is my favoriteest card in the whole wide world. Well, not the whole wide world, but I really do like the way this one turned out, especially with the paper in the background. And it's so simple to put this one together. So what we have here is, once again, you get enough to make 2 of these cards. And we are going to do some die cutting. So I'm going to take this white piece out of both of these. Oh, well, here. Let me take that out of the bag, too. And then this. Okay. These white pieces are 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to take out the embossing folder piece of our machine, and we're going to bring in our magnetic plate. Now, as you can see, mine is extremely loved. We're going to set that down and bring over the plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these, set it down here, grab my Irresistible Blooms dies, and I usually add the picture on the back so I know exactly what is in the die set. These are the dies, and this is the stamp set that goes with it, and that's a sample card, which is really nice, but we're not going to get distracted by something shiny. Here are my dies, and I'm going to put it right here at the top. Grab a Post-it note, and it moved a little bit, but because of where it's sitting, it's no problem. And I'm going to sandwich this together, and then, oops, sorry guys, go ahead and put this over here. We're going to do both of them. That way all we have to do is assemble the card. Well, we have some stamping to do too. So I'm going to take this off carefully. Although it is a Post-it note, and Post-it notes usually do not rip, when it comes to pressing it down the way the machine did, it means that it might be a little more sensitive. Okay. If when pulling, I'm just hitting everything here. When pulling, it doesn't all come out. There are various little open spaces. These open spaces are just where the cutout pieces are going to be. These little holes are going to be where the actual die, that's the die cut image that's actually staying on the card would be. So we're going to poke holes in there and release it. There it is. And there's the pieces in it that stayed behind. And we can just poke those out. And down here. Uh-oh. And then we poke them out over here. And it makes this beautiful design. One little piece right there. So we have something called Take Your Pick tool that does the same thing as this little tool does. It punches out the little pieces. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and throw these out. And this one. And then we're going to do it again. Put this on top. Add this one. Add our Post-it note because we can reuse it. And make sure that it's centered there. And then sandwich it in. The, what is it called? Die cuts that come with some of our stamp sets. And when I say come with some of our stamp sets, I mean you have to buy them as a bundle or buy them individually, but they're matching dies that go with a lot of our stamps. I'm going to take it off of here, put that away. Once again, carefully remove. And now I can throw away my little Post-it note. And then instead of waiting for it all to come out, I'm going to go ahead and push it. And stuff will start to release. Sometimes if you run it through a couple of times, it actually releases a little better. And there you go. This right here. And this one. I mean, it's not a big deal if they're still on when I glue it down, but I like to release them all. Let's go ahead. Sometimes if you drop it, a lot of it releases. And plus, I just like dropping it. Oh. Who said crafting couldn't be fun? Alrighty. So, that's all of them out of there. We're going to put this back. We're going to put this back in here. This is one of the dies that I cut out just to see what it looks like. And eventually, I'll find a purpose for it. I haven't yet done any cards with that particular part of the die cut. But the possibilities are endless. So we're going to throw this away. All right, so now we've got these two pieces. This one. So what I've got here is a piece of DSP that is 3 3/4 by 3 5/8. And what I have found is if you do it the 3 3/4, it's really tight, and we don't want it to be that tight. If you do it 3 5/8, then you've got enough room to leave room on either side so that you know it's exactly behind this piece. So we're going to put a little glue here, here, here. And we have something called liquid glue, or our green glue. And you can put the dots on there. You don't need too many dots. And I'm actually putting it where the circles are. You can use liquid glue, or on the previous cards that I did not add any liquid glue. I just let it do what it do. And I'm going to push it down. Not too hard because I've got that liquid glue in places. Just want to make sure I don't get glue oozing out and sides and stuff. And there you go. Now, for the front of this one, we are going to, I stamped one that said thank you. I think I stamped one that said it's your day. I really like the thank you. So I think we're going to go with the thank you for these ones. And once again, we pull out our block. This is a different size acrylic block. It is upside down right now, but that doesn't make a difference because it goes down whichever way I turn it. So we're going to, and I can see that there's ink all over that. And then there you go. Yeah, this is the front side. You know what? Let me put the paper down first. So let's do this, and little dots of glue on the little circles. And then do this. And then do that. And then I can ink it back up and stamp it. So now this ink is Lost Lagoon, and that's the color scheme for this particular card. Because of the nature of the paper is called Hello Irresistible. Beautiful sheets of paper, and I can show them to you in a moment. But Lost Lagoon is one of the ink colors that's in the paper. The wonderful thing about Stampin' Up! Is because their papers coordinate with all of their inks. You can see here on their papers that Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, Soft Seafoam are the colors that go with this particular set of paper. And I can show you what all of those papers are on the inside in just a moment. We're going to glue this down to the piece of cardstock. Oh, I did it again. The cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to take this and we're going to glue this down to our card base. And this is the easiest way to finish this particular card. But on this one, we're going to do it a little differently. Because I like the idea of having it up on, yes, dimensionals. You have to use a little bit more dimensionals on this one because you want to make sure that the card doesn't buckle in the middle. That one. And just one to grow on. Okay. There you go. And you put it on top of this one, once again, making sure it's in the center. And then glue this one down. And there you go. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to add our rhinestones. And I did not put them away this time because I knew this was coming. And we're going to use the smaller rhinestones on this one. The bitty ones. And the green glue, even if it does ooze out of the sides, it dries clear. So that gives it a little bit of a sparkle to this card. And I only put the rhinestones on this part. I didn't put it on any other part of the card. So I'd like to see what that looks like. And I got 4 up here. This one. 4 up there. And let's put a big one down here. There you go. You don't have to do any 2 cards the same way. Even if I sent you one of these card packs and it technically is for 2 identical cards, you can do whatever you want. In crafting, the sky's the limit. Let me grab a couple of envelopes. Uh-oh, I'm out of envelopes. I think these are cream. No. Looks like they're good. Uh-oh. One has a B on it. I had already stamped that. It's not too far off now, is it? I think that's good. So we're gonna go with that. So that is a card that is complete. And that is a card that is complete. So we've got those two, and those two. So that's 6 cards that we have completed in our time together. Once again, if you're interested in this card pack, I have a few extra. Just message me or comment below and I'll let you know how you can get it. It is for orders of $25 or more or $20. So if you place an order on my website for $25 or more, I'll send you this card pack, which makes these 6 cards. If you want to just pay for the card kit, it is $20. But if you place an order on my site, you could get your hands on the Irresistible Blooms set, as well as, and I told you I was doing this, the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. So now you get a bigger pack of this. I usually separate it into 4 packs. So you get 48 sheets, which is 4 sheets of each of these. So this, and that's the back, this, the back, this, back, that, back, that. I like this one a lot. And the dies that are inside of the die cutting set cut these flowers out perfectly. And these leaves out. So I should do a card later on this month where you can see those die cuts cut off the paper. And I think I have one extra of, yeah, this one is an extra one. The rest of this comes in the pack. This one is from a different pack, so I'm going to pick that out. But it's 12 sheets, 12 different designs. You get 4 of each design. So that is 48 sheets. Oops, I like to turn it over. There you go. So the Irresistible Blooms is the Hello Irresistible DSP, or Designer Series paper. The die cuts, or the dies, and the stamp set. So placing an order of $25 or more, if you get this bundle, you get all of the information, or all of the pieces to make your own cards. And I think I might want to redo this card with this paper. So watch for that coming on my Facebook page. But that is it for me. I'm glad I decided to go ahead and re-record this video. I'm just going to post it on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you for joining me. Make sure that you use the host code for August if you're going to place an order. Like and subscribe if you're seeing this on YouTube. If you're seeing this on Facebook, comment below that you're watching the re-recorded video. Thank you for joining me. My name is Wendy Easler. I am from Expressing My Heart, helping you express yours through handmade cards and gifts. Have a good day.